public plea for help is critically important. That killer is out there someplace. Eating, sleeping, filling up their gas tank, interacting with human beings on a regular basis. Somebody in that killer's sphere may notice something, somebody acting oddly, may notice a car, and calling in is critical. You only have to remember the Gabby Petito case. People really, piled in, and a lot of witnesses were able to help locate the van that the couple had been driving and locate the camping grounds where it had been staying, and in many ways helped locate the body of Gabby Petito. So asking the public for help is critical and is important. As of yet, in this case, it's yet to pay out.
I recall the horrific 2011 murder of an 8-year-old boy, Leiby Kleitsky. He was a Hasidic Jewish boy. The case made national headlines. He was in Brooklyn, and it was a man in the community who actually helped police track down the killer. So how many big cases like these are actually solved from the public, from people who you say, again, you just mentioned, bringing in tips or finding out information that could help investigators?
Many. And in this case, I think it's going to be crucial. Clearly, whatever they have found at the crime scene has not led them to the killer yet. Whatever DNA evidence they may have found at the crime scene, they haven't been able to match to anybody because they don't have a match in the databank, assumably. This is information from the public is crucial, and we say this all the time. If you see something, call police. And as I just said, this killer is out there someplace, unless they're living in a campsite in the middle of nowhere, interacting with people. And even if so, we'll probably need to go get supplies or something. Somebody somewhere is seeing this person and may notice this person, and needs to call into police with any information about this person, no matter how insignificant that information may seem. Trust me, the police are getting a lot of calls, as they've said, a lot of calls. Obviously, most of those calls have not led to anything. There's no call too small. There's no tip too insignificant. It could lead to the killer.
And one more question for you, Elizabeth. In terms of how many weeks go by when a case is not solved, how long will investigators continue to just look over all the evidence that they've gathered from this home before they have to kind of press pause on this and await more information to come to them from tips?
Well, that's a slow and inexorable process. In this case, we do know there's already been a drawdown in the number of detectives from the Moscow PD working the case, but there's been an increase in the number of federal agents working on the case. This is a big case, Adrian. These are 4 kids who were killed in their beds, in their apartment, in their home, outside the University of Idaho campus. This is a big, big case. It's not going to fade away. Having said that, we've seen other big cases. The JonBenet Ramsey case comes to mind that remain unsolved to this day. Just because the case gets massive media attention, just because the case is hugely important and significant in many ways, doesn't mean it will be solved. There are cases, Adrian, that can sometimes go years and decades before they're solved. I just pray for the family's sake that some sort of tip, some sort of break is going to come in this case sooner rather than later.
Elizabeth Vargas, thank you so much for your time this morning.